often have you been told to grow up? I was first told that around this time. Adults are told to grow up constantly. Children are told to grow up even more. We're told, so it goes, that if we grow up, if we become more responsible, then what exactly? What exactly is supposed to happen when we grow up? After we make the adult choice, after we make the responsible decision. Have you ever asked yourself what is supposed to happen if we do this growing up stuff? Probably not. Probably not, because society encourages us to believe that growing up is a given. It's so admirable, so we're led to believe. But why? What's my crazy idea? I vote that we all go be a kid again. Who's with me? We'll get to dress up. We'll even get to go play. We'll get more nap time. Did I say more nap time? We'll get more nap time. Anytime, anywhere kind of nap time. But you know what we'll also get by being a kid again? We'll get ourselves back. Face it, we've been lost to the generation of ideas that values work, and more specifically, paid work, more than common humanity. This, though, is not how we ought to live. But more than that, this rush to adulthood, this hood that values paid work and responsibility, it stifles our imagination. Albert Einstein once remarked that imagination is more important than knowledge. How often do you imagine? Or better yet, how often should you imagine? I vote for any time and any place. Every major faith calls us to be more like a child if we are to get to the other side. Buddhist, East Asian cultures encourages us that great is the human who has not lost his childlike heart. It's from Mencius. Christian faiths remark from the lips of Jesus, "Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter the kingdom of heaven." And even Paul Coelho remarks that a child can teach an adult three things: to be happy for no reason, to always be busy with something, and to know how to demand with all of their might that which they desire. But what happens when we choose not to heed our moral sources? We lose the natural aspiration for inspiration. We lose ourselves. With work, bills, deadlines, pressures, our natural energy goes there. Our capacity to make visions reality nearly evaporate. This is because we lose our idealism. Kids, meanwhile, dream of perfection. Kids believe in the impossible dream. Kids don't worry about what they're doing. Mess on aisle 3. Kids ask, why? The child naively believes that everything should be fair, everyone should be honest, that only good should prevail, that everybody should have what they want, and that there should be no pain or sadness. The child believes the world should be perfect and is outraged to discover it is not. and the child is right. And business leaders agree. Vineet Nair wrote about what leaders can learn from children in the Harvard Business Journal. He wants businesses to be more like a kid's playground, where children take risk, where they have incomparable curiosities, and are, for the most part, honest. In some cases, brutally honest. Media mogul Ariana Huffington thinks that we should all prolong our childhood and thinks that we should do so as long as we do it with consciousness. If so, we're told that our natural altruism shines. And with 2.2 billion children in the world, that's a lot of natural altruism. And we adults could really benefit from that in places like this. And much of that natural altruism is in the developing world, where nearly every second child is living in poverty. Poverty restricts growth from our imagination. And a growing number of school districts here in the United States agree. And they have found that public education without the alleviation of poverty is no education. But we better hurry up, because with all of the number of children growing, their share of the population is shrinking. Hence, it's really up to us adults to be kids again. And we have plenty historical models to give us the strength we need to divorce ourselves from this adulthood paid work system of responsibility. Anne Frank, as a child, used her imagination and a pencil to change the world while evading Nazi capture while in Germany. Ruby Bridges, as a child, dared to believe in equality and desegregated an all-white school in Louisiana. The Little Rock Nine, each under the age of 17, integrated Little Rock Central High School in 1957. Even Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was 15 when he graduated from college and was only 26 when he led the Montgomery bus boycott. Claudette Colvin was also 15 when she became the first person to refuse to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama. Robbie Novak, what most of us know as Kid President, who is also, though, a victim of osteogenesis imperfecta, encourages us daily to use our imaginations to contribute to society. 13-year-old Native American activist Chutetskal Martin began at the age of 6 to defend the precious thing we all share in common, and that is the environment. Nobel Peace Laureate Malala Yousafzai was just 16 when she was already recognized for a lifetime of achievement as an international champion of children's rights. These adults, these people who as younger kids were turning their visions into action, each give us the courage to do the same. Each built a movement that helps us all understand that through our childhood, we really can make visions turn into actions. Each beat oppression, one step, one sermon, one letter, one day at a time. They didn't let worries about a job keep them from acting. They ignored calls, even from their parents, all of them, to stand down. They, in fact, as children, led. My big idea? I want us to go back to being a kid again and imagine all the places we will go. Imagine the world problems we may solve. Capture the moment when you laugh at the simple pleasure of someone else's company. My big idea. Go back to being a kid again. Capture the moment when you laugh at the simple pleasure of someone else's company. It's in those moments where our visions, in my opinion, are best. in these moments, without a care in the world other than the person sitting next to us, when we are most creative. So I do encourage us to ask yourself, what is it that you believe? And better yet, why do you believe that? These are the types of questions kids ask. Instead, we adults, what do we ask? What do you do? Are you more interested in what you do for work than why you do it? Do you even know why you work? Despite what we've been conditioned to believe, wisdom comes from the below up. Wisdom comes from our inner child. Wisdom comes from children themselves. They should lead, and we should follow them. We should be more like them, and who knows, you just might find that we can establish world peace. We just might find a cure for Alzheimer's, and we just might get some more nap time. With comfort, safety, and love, we too can be a kid again, and we too can change the world. Thank you.